All right, everybody, what it is, it's your boy, Slickback Jones the Don, a.k.a. Black Caesar, a.k.a. Caesar Alamo.
What's up, everybody? It's Crazy P, a.k.a. Zolboy, a.k.a. Malta Boy, a.k.a. Carnation Milk, a.k.a. Griot Boy, a.k.a. You know what it is, always here, always live. You.
Plantain Gang, nigga, we live.
Gang, gang.
All right, so you're now tuned in to the third episode of Ignorant Banter. This is our outlet for us to talk about ignorant shit, stupid shit, voice our opinions, and really connect with you guys and really see what you guys want to talk about and just feed off of that. Today, our first section that we're going to talk about is whose man's is this?
Oh, shit, is that me?
Whose man's is this? Whose man's is
My bad, yo. I had a long day, man. I had a long day. So, let's get it started. So, yeah, whose man's is this, man? So, my person is Steve Harvey, man. I love Steve Harvey. I'm a big fan of Steve Harvey, but he had a really bad joke today, I think it was, or maybe yesterday, but he had a caller on his radio show called in and pretty much was, dissing him a little bit, just, in a fun way because the Cavs lost and he's a big Cavs fan, And, well, before the call ended, he said, well, you can go ahead and enjoy your brown water. And the guy's from Flint, Michigan. So it's like, it's snarly funny because people are really dying over there or getting sick from, that water, in Michigan. So, yeah, man, whose man's is this? Like,
whose man's is this, bro? How many L's can you take in 1 year?
Right? Like, yo, who is this guy? I mean, we know who he is, but why? Like, what was he thinking to even, like, go that route just over a basketball game? I mean, yeah, man.
What are your thoughts on Steve Harvey?
I love Steve Harvey, man. Besides this shit, I like him as an entertainer. I love him as a person from what I've seen, in his interviews and shit. So, I just think sometimes, he makes mistakes like we all do. But this one was really, really bad, in my opinion.
But he's been taking a lot of L's in 2017. I mean, we're only halfway through the year, and this man has about 3 L's. He has the one where he met with Donald Trump, which is a 2-1 L. I think it should be a 2-1. And then he has the one where he sent his employees that rude-ass memo, and now he has a Flint joke. I just don't understand how this man is still functioning and just going around like he's not saying some problematic shit. I think it all started with the Miss Universe mix-up. That was the start of his downfall. I don't think Steve Harvey's going to be here for long, real shit.
I disagree because do you know how many shows he has right now? Like, he has a lot of shows out right now, like from game shows to his radio show to his network. So I think he's going to be around for a while. That's my opinion.
But social media is treacherous. Any minute somebody don't like you, they can have a boycott Steve Harvey hashtag, and you out of a job the next day. Especially in the entertainment world and the media world, anything can change quickly. Like, look at homeboy from Fox News. I don't remember his name, and I don't want to remember his name. But with that sexual harassment lawsuit, O'Reilly.
Oh, the old dude?
Yeah.
Bill O'Reilly.
Yeah,
it was Bill O'Reilly. Yeah.
Even his name sounds
racist. Bill O'Reilly. I mean, you know what? I kind of agree, but he's a comedian, so I feel like him playing that card, as a quote unquote bad joke, I think he'll be fine. But it's really fucked up that you said that. Yeah, man. I mean, it was just sports talk, Yeah, the Cavs lost, But to go there, that's some real shit that's happening, and that that's insane.
Yeah, he got to do better. For my whose man's is this, it goes to Lil Boosie. If y'all didn't know, Lil Boosie was in jail a couple of years ago, and then we were just getting annoyed with hashtags, free Lil Boosie, let Boosie out, all that shit. And then we just thought that when Boosie came out, he was gonna have some uplifting shit for the black community. Not that he ever did before he went to jail, but for some reason, Lil Boosie is a hood's favorite before Kodak Black and all those niggas. And now he comes out. When he came out, he just came out with the vendetta for gay people, and we're now finding out why with this latest video he had on WorldStar. Basically, he recounted a story of when he was in jail and he walked into some gay activity in jail, nonetheless. And now he's putting out all these videos talking about there's a gay agenda. Why would two grown men do this? And it just makes no sense. Like, whose man's is this, Lil Boosie? You come out, you're not doing anything for the community. You talking shit about people that doing their shit in private. It's not like they asked you to join. Why the fuck you worried about it? And not only that, the most hypocritical part about that is that you're part of the gay agenda. Yup, you're the one that was out here having these songs called They Dykin, girls kissing girls in the back seat, two red bones kissing in the back seat. You got a whole song called They Dykin. It's a full song with just lyrics out there about two girls making out and how that makes you look as a man. Your girl, your side girl likes to eat pussy. You got all this shit out there.
Damn, bro.
But then,
you remember all that shit. All the lyrics.
Because that song came out when I was young, and then he had the nerves to say, how am I going to explain to my kids homosexuality or the gay agenda? They can't even watch cartoons without seeing some gay shit. But I can even listen to music without hearing your shit about They Dykin. So if you're going to discriminate, you should discriminate evenly. Don't discriminate and pick and select and fetishize one part of the LGBTQ community, and then the other part is like, oh, they two grown-ass men. You were talking about two grown-ass women, too. So that's why my whose man's is this goes to Lil Boosie.
I think another issue stems from the fact that in the culture, right, if it's two girls dyking, hey, it's accepted. Like, yo, that's hot. That's cool. But if it's, the other way, it's looked down upon, right? So that's the bigger issue. It's never been all inclusive as far as that goes. And you're right. If you're gonna go that route, you should go both sides, right? So
exactly. Yeah, I was a kid listening to Day Dykin. So the fact that now you say, the fact that now you're gonna turn around and say, how am I gonna explain to my kids what homosexuality is when there's all this media influence trying to expose them to other shit? Well, tough shit, it happened to a lot of us because of you, and now you have the nerve to turn around and condemn other people doing it. So that, just because of that, you deserve this. Whose man's is this? You need to take this L, Lil Boosie. I don't really care whether you're back in jail or not. Just stop making videos. That's my ask to you.
You salty, bro. Whose man is this?
Whose man
is this? All right, bet.
All right, next, hot shit. This is a section where we talk about what we're reading, what we're watching, what we're listening. And for me, hot shit right now is Travis Scott. Travis Scott has a new video out.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, okay, Travis Scott was on my shit list because he's dating one of the Kardashians, following in his big homie's footsteps. Kanye, now he's dating... Which one is it? The one with, well, they all have plastic surgery, but the one that appropriates black culture a lot.
I don't fucking know. What's her name? Kanye and Kim Kardashian?
No, Kim is with Kanye. Kylie.
Kylie? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was the one that was dating Tyga. I didn't know that was over, but now she's dating Travis Scott. Yep.
Oh, interesting.
Yep. And I was rooting. If you've ever seen that gif where it's like, I was rooting for you, we're all rooting for you. That was me with Travis Scott, because I found out about Travis Scott when he was on a song with Drake. He was on the last song with Drake on one of Drake's albums. I think it's If You're Reading This, Then It's Too Late, whatever the album's called. He was on the last song on that album, looked into Travis Scott. I was bumping Travis before he was on the radio stations, before he was on the waves. And then he goes ahead and dates a Kardashian. So I was a little bit worried about him, that he might go down the Kanye path and just slide into some crazy shit. But this video, maybe he did slide into some crazy shit, because this video is really dope. It's very artistic. It's I felt like I was watching a movie. Like, you feel like you're watching just a regular hood movie. And then in the middle of it, there's a huge twist, and it gets all sci-fi and supernatural and shit. It's black weirdo shit, like black nerd shit, and I fuck with it heavily. So that's
Well, you never
really why that
know.
shit
Like,
is
he might go crazy because this happened 2 days ago. The whole Kylie Jenner thing. So let's give it some time to see if he, stays Travis Scott that we know.
Yeah, Travis
Yeah.
Scott, if you're listening to this, please watch Get Out. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, man, don't change, man. You know what I mean? Because I like Travis too. I ain't gonna lie. So,
Yeah.
stress.
Putting on for the black weirdos out there.
All right. Next segment is Word on the Streets. First one is Jaden Smith. He has a new video out right now, new music called Batman, and it's just weird, man. He's Batman. He has on a white Batman suit, and he's rapping on a Drake kind of flow. That sounds like Jumpin', 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 and it's like, I don't know what he's going for. It was like, what are you talking about? Is it a deeper issue? Or are you just trying to like look crazy weird? Because he's already like mad weird anyway. You know what I mean? So right. I just feel like it was just, I watched it and I'm like, what is this? Why am I watching this? I just lost like 4 minutes of my life. You know what I mean? So
well, when your dad's rich and you have money, you can do what you want. You do what you want when you poppin'.
Is he popping though? He's not popping. I mean, his name is popping. He's a Smith, but
yeah, if you're Will Smith and Jada Smith's son or daughter, you come out the womb popping.
For life, forever. Huh.
For life, right? You just have creative freedom to do shit forever.
Damn. Well, that's a high class privilege. Is what I call that.
Yep, for sure.
Shit. Because if you're a regular nigga,
put that shit out, I would just get roasted if I did.
Bruh. I mean, yeah, I think it's, I don't know, it's kind of whack. So, but it's, like you said, he can put out anything he wants and it's going to do some numbers, so.
Next on Word on the Streets, Chamillionaire. So Chamillionaire made this huge buzz on the internet because he was sitting courtside at Game 5 on the recent playoffs. And basically, he just made this huge splash on the internet because people forgot about Chamillionaire. They haven't seen him since 2008, 2009. And all these people are like, is that Chamillionaire? He's irrelevant, blah, blah, blah. But what y'all don't know is that Chamillionaire been hustling. I mean, he's stayed off the rap game, but he's been making moves and Silicon Valley and just venture capitalism. And I think he sold an app to Disney, and he's worth $15 million. And that's,
damn,
yeah,
really?
This man is worth money. Bad.
My nigga riding dirty still, huh?
Riding dirty, shit. Riding dirty in Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley.
And now he's making moves, and that's what a lot of these rappers don't have. They have these. There's a lot of these one-hit wonders. They make that money. They spend it on girls, on cars, on clothes, basically the shit that they rap about. And then when the bills come, they don't know what to do, and they end up on Love and Hip Hop. So Chamillionaire, shout out to you. You're making moves. You're staying quiet, and you're hustling.
But did you see his face though in that picture at the game?
Yeah. What is that? What does that face say to you?
I don't know. I'm thinking of the movie Get Out, man. It's almost like he was trapped. He's trying to get out. Like he looked like he was trapped, bro.
Oh,
he's
shit.
Like, damn, like I don't belong here, you know. But so
he looks like he was with his side chick, and his girlfriend was about to find out. He's like, "Fuck, get the cameras off me. I'm not over here right now."
At the end of the day, you know what? You're right, because most rappers that was popping back in those days are probably broke right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, where's Paul Wall? Is he still putting diamonds in his grill and he still got the neon cars? Or where is Slim Thug? Where's all these people? Where's Mike Jones?
Who? Yeah, so if he's making like all those moves and he has an app that he sold to Disney and shit, I mean, yo, big ups, man. That is what you're supposed to do when you know are popping at the time in the culture, because you know at some point you won't be as popping. You know what I mean?
You won't, unless you're Jay-Z and you can marry Beyonce and stay popping forever and have a portfolio of songs. But if you ever get accidentally rich, this is to anyone listening because you never know who it can happen to. If you ever get accidentally rich, be wise and invest. That's one thing we can learn from Chamillionaire.
If you ever get rich, call me, okay? My number is 45730. But nah, honestly, no, I fuck with it, and I think it should be a roadmap for niggas right now that are popping that may not be popping 10 years from now. You know what I mean? So
right. Lil Uzi, whatever y'all call these days. Take notes.
All right, bet that right there is facts. So our next topic, man, is Amber Rose movement. I think it's called the Slut Walk.
Right.
So it's pretty much the movement, from what I understand it to be, is she goes out and she does these walks where you walk, pretty much naked for the most part, and it's to show that, hey, if a female dressed certain way, very provocative, that should not be inviting, guys to come and pretty much rape them or use them, abuse them. You know what I mean? So females should be able to dress how they want, dress pretty much barely with nothing on, and not have to worry about guys abusing them. So I get the concept. I like the concept, but I have a feeling that this is also being used to like keep her relevant. You know what I mean? Because how is she relevant today? You know what I mean? So I feel like she's using that as a scapegoat to like stay relevant and be, in the culture, in the game,
Absolutely. I agree. And I feel like the message might get lost in translation because if you do take off your clothes and walk down the streets and you're protesting, I get the message that you're trying to send off, but there's always going to be those people that are going to try to put you down or try to make it seem, or just sexualize you. They're like, okay, you're still naked, I'm still going to look at you, and I'm still not going to respect your rights. What would be interesting, though, is if she made the people that were sexualizing her, she just had, like, guys just wear the shit she'd be wearing, and she's, like, catcalling them on a show, and she's just harassing guys as they walk down the streets. I would watch that. That would make her relevant for me, and I would watch a whole season of her just fucking with guys and just, like, treating them like they treat women, like the shitty way that they treat women in the streets. And, like, all the catcalling, all the shit that she's been through, if she's, like, reciprocating that shit and she's like, yeah, how does that shit feel now? I would watch that shit, honestly. But this slut walk thing, I mean, I wish her the best, but I don't know about it.
I mean, like, because, like, niggas get raped too, you know what I mean, when you keep it real. So could you imagine, like, if just, a bunch of guys just went and have a walk, and they just walk naked to say, hey, if I want to, you know what I mean, do what I want to do, don't be raping me out here, you know what I mean, because people don't want to believe it, but guys also do get raped, you know what I mean, and it's not talked about, so I just feel like, I like the concept, but I really feel like her ulterior motive is definitely a big play in it. Let me ask you, if you had a daughter, would you allow her to be in the walk and be able to walk and shit?
She can be in the walk. She's just not going to be naked. That's all I know.
She has to be naked. It's a slut walk. You have to be slutty, bro. You have to be in there. You have to be slutty, and you gotta be slutty. You can't be a nice normal dress. Nah, you gotta be slutty and get your slut walk on. You know what I mean? Stretch your stuff.
Look, you can be slutty. You can wear a thigh-high skirt, whatever you want to wear, but you're just not going to be naked out here in these streets. I get the intention. I get what you're trying to do. I support the movement, but if it's my daughter, I know the world is crazy, and if I have to be a good father, that falls in the realm of not letting my daughter walk the streets naked. But true, I still support it. You can do what you want, but you just not going to be out here naked, shaking your titties behind Amber Rose. You know what I'm saying?
Well, whatever she's doing, she's staying relevant, so at least that part's
Have you seen that picture? Have you seen that picture where she's, like, naked with the pubes?
Have I now? Yes, I have. What? Yeah,
I know you have.
Hell yeah, I saw it, and that's what I'm saying. Like, you look at that picture, and you could see, she's definitely promoting more than that goal, right? Or the concept of the movement. She's promoting herself, like her brand, Amber Rose, as a brand is being promoted. So I think
it's a little bit of a publicity stunt.
Exactly. It's definitely a lot to do with, her being up there and being relevant. So that's my issue with that, man. So, yeah.
If you want to post a naked pic and go. Don't be trying to pretend like you uplifting the movement. But maybe she is sincere, but you know what? Who am I to judge? At the end of the day, everybody got to do what they got to do. If that's what she got to do to stay relevant, good. If at the end of the day she ends up helping out the cause, then good for her.
But if you're going to post it, at least post it, more often, you know what I mean? And not once a year for the walk, you know what I mean? So you're going to post it.
Bro, you just trying to see Amber Rose titties. That's what you're trying to do, bro.
Just post that shit like once a week, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so if one person, if 2 or 3 guys learn from the walk or the movement, which I'm not sure that's happening, then so be it, but...
do you really think a guy's going to look at some titties, some women walking down the street, and he's like, wow, now I respect women?
Hell nah. Hell nah. They're thinking, oh, shit, look at that. Ass and titties. Ass and titties.
Yeah, they're probably not even going to read y'all sign. It could be literally written on your titties, respect women, and they still not going to learn from it or look at it. They just going to look at the titties and not look at the message.
There are no guys looking at a woman's body walking down the street thinking, oh, man, yeah, I should, have to respect and not, buy him more drinks or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, no, that's not happening. So that's what I'm saying. It's a big stunt, you know what I mean? And there are other ways to go about doing this, in my opinion. So I digress.
Real quick, before we change topics, I kind of want to relate this to what we talked about on the second episode, how the reason why race relations in America is so fucked up is because of the way that we're not taught to think about race, how to relate to other races. We just try to pretend like, oh, we're all one and the same, there's no racism, and let's just forget about it. And then when you finally meet someone of another race, it's really awkward because you were never taught how to deal with it. I think it's the same thing when it comes to men and women. I just think when parents are raising their kids, they just raise their boys to be boys, girls to be girls. They don't teach boys how to be friends with girls or how to talk to girls outside of just a relationship. So then when you see a girl that you like, you don't know how to approach her. So you just be like, damn, Ma, was good. That's all you got. Because you never had any friends who were girls. Your parents never taught you how to talk to girls. So you just rely on the stereotypes and rely on just what society says that a man should be like or how a man should approach a woman. And that's my take on it.
Shit, what's good, man? How you doing?
What's good, Ma?
You in the red shirt. Let me talk to you for a second.
Behind Amber Rose. Hey, third row from Amber Rose on the right. What's good?
You in the black shirt, bro. Yeah, I think you're right. I think, with the media, music, Hollywood, like you were just, almost conditioned to like think that way. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a bigger problem than just, what the walk is addressing. You know what I mean? So it starts from the parents, from young age teenagers and being adults, and it shapes how you think about the other gender. You know what I mean? So
right,
it's a process. But if that doesn't not start in the beginning of someone's life, you're not gonna be able to just like look at some ass and titties and be like, oh, I get it now. You know what I mean? So
right, yeah, that's not happening.
All right. The next topic is why don't we support black businesses as black folks? And I saw a funny ass video online on Facebook, and pretty much it just talked about how a black business is always like taking shortcuts, man. Like they'll have hours posted, and they won't be open until like 3 or 4 hours later. They're always like out of supplies, or you know what I mean, like they're very if you black, you know what I mean, I can just talk to you and just like any kind of way because like you get it. Whereas if you go to a white business, you know what I mean, like whatever they're doing, it's consistent. any time of the day, whatever happens, you're gonna go in there and you're gonna get the same kind of service. So, is that why we don't support black businesses, or is there a bigger reason that that exists?
I think that's a good reason, because when you're spending your money, you want it to be as professional as possible, and we're just being realistic. When you go to certain restaurants, black restaurants, I remember going to a soul food restaurant. I was on my break. I only had an hour for my break, and I went there looking to eat some good food and possibly take some leftovers so I can eat later on that day. I spent the whole hour of my break waiting for my food. I never got it. I ended up going back to work hungry, and that fucked up my whole vibe, my whole day. And that was at that moment, I was like, that's exactly why sometimes I don't want to support black businesses. So people that don't, I absolutely understand it. I think we have a long way to go when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to customer service. Jesus Christ. When it comes to
you can say that again,
being done on time, all that.
I mean, do you know how many times I have gone to a Jamaican restaurant and I walk in there and I'm like, all right, let me get some curry chicken with some rice, you know what I mean, and a patty. And they'll be like, we don't have that. What do you mean you don't have that?
Yeah.
Like, what you mean? Like, I want a fucking beef patty, yo. Like, that's what you're known for. And it's like noon, but they're out of it. You know what I mean? So, and that's very common. Like, I can go to a restaurant every day, and I can guarantee you I'm going to ask for an item they're going to be out of. Like, every day, I can guarantee it.
Exactly. And if you know you're in a business, you should make sure to stock your shit so that way you're not running out of stuff. And not only that, when you go to certain restaurants, it'd be like, what you want? Or if you go to a Jamaican restaurant, like, what you want to eat? And it's like, okay, no greeting. You go to Chick-fil-A and it's like, almost like, hello, your majesty, what may your servant get for you today? That's literally what it'd be like. And you telling me that I have to spend money somewhere where somebody has just an attitude and shit. So that, I think we have a long way to go. And we're not saying this to shit on the black community. We're saying this so people can get their shit together. Because it's constructive criticism, because we do want to invest in the black community, but they have to start doing better.
Yeah, I agree. And I think with the Jamaican example, that's probably part of the culture over there. You know what I mean?
It's cultural, yeah.
And cultural, they don't greet you. They're like, hey, what you trying to eat, man? You know what I mean? Like, what you want to eat? What you want? We don't got it. We got it. Here you go. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I do think that, like as a black business, you should be consistent the whole year for years to come. You know what I mean? So if you're going to open at 9, be open at 9. You know what I mean? So especially black barbershops, man. You go in there and you have an appointment. Almost all the time, it's like an hour later that they show up. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Or they be on their phone talking to other people, and they're like, hold on, I got to take this call. And you're sitting there, half your hair is waiting done, the other half is just in a fucking afro, and this man is just on his phone with his girlfriend or baby mama, who the fuck ever.
Yeah, so I mean, I get that we are very comfortable with us. You know what I mean? I get it. It's a black-owned business. You see a black customer, you feel comfortable. But at the end of the day, it's a business. You know what I mean? So you want to be able to support other customers from other backgrounds, right? So I really think that you gotta do better, man. As black owners of businesses, like, you have to be able to deliver products, deliver service the same way every time, every day, consistently. So you build that brand, and and no one's not saying, oh, well, I'm not going to go there because they might not have patties. Nigga, I love patties. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to show up at 9 a.m. to get patties because I know at noon you'll be out of them,
Yep. So. And this is not to say that there's not some good black businesses out there that are really fighting the stereotype and losing money because that stereotype out there. But we are... But we're saying that that's a thing that happens. So just keep your head up if you're a black business. Fight the stereotype. And hopefully as a community, we improve.
All right. So then now we are going to the next topic, which is tipping. Why do we tip in the U.S. but overseas in Europe, it's not a thing to tip. So, yeah, I really feel like I don't know. I really want to get down to this issue because this has really been bothering me for a while now. Like, why do we have to tip people here in the year? I mean, I want to know, you know, because I know I've heard that what they don't make as much. They only make 4 an hour, 3 an hour. But how is that the customer's responsibility if they're coming to a business? Isn't that the owner's thing to be able to pay the workers what they're supposed to get paid? Thoughts?
Right, yeah. Why is it my fault that you're not paying your workers enough? You're paying your workers $4 an hour, and then I get looked at as an asshole if I don't give that person an extra dollar. But so I have a couple thoughts on tipping. I actually read this article, and basically what it was saying is that the reason why tipping exists in America is because back in, I want to say the 1930s or the 1940s, the corporations got together and they found a way to put tipping on the customer. Um, and that's why it doesn't happen in Europe. It doesn't happen in other places. It's because they don't have that legislation. So I think it goes back to rules. Basically, not corporate America, but all these corporations got together and they somehow lobbied and passed this law that made it okay for tipping to happen. And now it's become so ingrained in our culture. It's become such a big staple in American culture. We could never go back from tipping. And that's what these corporations want to do. They want to pay less money, have the customer pay it, and then if the customer doesn't pay it, now it's seen as rude or impolite if you don't tip, which I guess is true because you have someone breaking their back to get a tip. And if you're going out, the least you can do is tip. Like if you're able to afford going out is a luxury, so you should be tipping. But at the end of the day, if I had a choice, I would want it to be your employer paying you. You shouldn't have to break your back just to make sure that you go home with enough tips at night.
But my thing is, so I understand that if you go to a restaurant, say a nice restaurant or whatever, and someone's breaking their back to serve you, yeah, I get that you should, out of your heart, tip them. But my issue is, why should it be? It's expected, you know what I mean? So it's not even that, I'm tip you because I feel, I want to show my appreciation for you doing all this stuff to serve me. But no, it's like it's a requirement. Oh, you have to tip me even if I do a bad job, at least 10-20%, because that's the culture. Like we have to tip
Right.
and help pay these salaries where the owners are, of these restaurants are not doing what they're supposed to do, I think. So,
Yeah, I agree. Tipping should be on top of whatever you're already getting paid. So you should be getting a livable wage, and then if you're doing a great service, then you can go ahead and get tips on top of that.
and that would be a win for the employee. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, if that was the same way, so if you got paid $7-8 an hour, and you got tipped, like you're getting paid way more, right, than if you're getting paid 4 an hour with tip.
Exactly. Right.
So the owner is winning, and the employee, in that sense, is because you're making less money that you could have made if you got paid, like regular minimum wage. So
Yeah, and owners don't want to do that. They don't want to. These companies, these huge ass corporations, they don't want to raise the minimum wage. They don't want to. They don't want to pay their employees livable wages, and then they want the customer to tip. So you want our money, and then you want us to pay your employees on top of it.
So let me ask you: do you tip?
I do tip. I do, and I
All the
don't know if
time?
it's because I genuinely feel like it. But I do tip. Even if I leave $1, I'll tip. But it really depends. It depends on where I am, the service I'm getting. I don't really go out to a lot of fancy restaurants for tipping to be such a huge thing for me. But if I do go somewhere and it's fancy and it's a pretty high bill and you have someone who's working really hard, I do tip.
Well, maybe it's the nigga in me, because I don't really tip like that. or at least I don't want to tip. Like I just feel like I have to. Like I always feel like I'm forced to do it. It's never it's never out of my heart. You know what I mean? So
you ever put that little X and then you feel awkward and you feel like you have to kind of vacate the premises because you just didn't tip and you put that X and you just wonder about when they look at you, or is that just me? Probably just me.
I just flip the receipt like very quick, bro, and walk out. You know what I mean? So I just
slowly hand it to them.
I sign that shit real fast, flip it, and shit, head out because I don't know, man. Like I really don't want to tip. To be honest with you, and people might not want to hear this, but this is Ignorant Banter. I don't like to tip. I feel like if I'm gonna tip, it should be because I want to or I feel like it. But I shouldn't feel required to every time I go out. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be a requirement to do it, in my opinion. So, yeah, man, I don't really want to tip. And if I do,
have you ever?
I'm not happy doing
for
it.
Takeout, because that's one thing that really gets me sometimes. If you're getting takeout, let's say you go to Chipotle or you go to like a Chinese restaurant where they prepare your food and you get it for takeout in a bag to go home. And I always pay with card. I never carry cash on me. There's always somewhere where it says, there's always a tip section. And I'm like, why? It's not like I sat down, you brought me water, you brought me bread. You didn't do any of that. Like, I'm just picking up my food and I'm going. I should only pay the price of the food. That's when I don't really like to tip. I don't know if that's ever happened to you.
Hell no. That's when I don't definitely tip at all. If I'm doing takeout, I'm definitely not going to tip. I'm not even thinking about it. It's not even crossing my mind. So I'm going to write a big-ass X and show it to you. Hey, I'm not tipping. You know what I mean? So yeah, I don't tip if it's takeout, I'm not gonna tip. If I'm sitting down somewhere to eat, I do it, but it's like a force. I feel forced. I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I would never tip for takeout. I don't know. That's just me.
And there's another reason why I don't like tipping is because the inequality in tipping. Automatically, if you're a blonde girl with green eyes and you look good, you're automatically going to make some amazing tips. If you don't look that good, or if you're like older in age, whatever it might be, you might be getting skimped out on tips, because tipping is really sometimes based on someone's preference, someone being attracted to you. So there's all these politics that go into tipping. There's racism, there's misogyny sometimes. You never know. When you're depending on someone to pay your bills, you're depending on someone to give you your wage who's not your employer. That's extra stress. That shouldn't be added on there.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. And, some of the times the tip is also split amongst like everyone in the restaurant. It's not just for that waiter. You know what I mean? So that's also another issue I have with tipping. Yeah, I really wish it would be like overseas, like Europe, man. Just like you don't have to tip. You getting paid what you getting paid, and if I feel like it, if I'm in a good mood, or if you impress me that much, then yeah, I would tip you on the side.
How would you feel not having that leverage? Let's say you get bad service. Sometimes you feel like you have that leverage as a customer. Like, I'm not gonna tip her, but if you don't have that leverage, then do you think that's gonna take something away from you, or do you think it doesn't matter?
So you're saying if you don't have the leverage of being able
not
to
tipping?
I mean, you should have the leverage though, because you're the customer. So it should be your ultimate decision, up to your perception of how you perceive the night was. You know what I mean? So,
but I'm saying, okay, let's say you go to a restaurant and there is no tipping. So the waitresses are paid adequately, and you get bad service from a waitress. Do you think that not having the option to not tip is going to take something away from you in that situation?
Oh, nah, I don't think so at all. I think if they're getting paid what they're supposed to get paid, and it's bad service, I don't think that takes away from me at all as a customer. You know what I mean? Because that's just the employee's doing a bad job, and I'd rather like not be forced to do it, even with a bad job, than to be forced to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't think that would affect me at all as a customer. At the end of the day, I'm over it. I do it because it's the society, but deep in my heart, I don't like doing it. So.
Yeah, And basically, I think tipping gives people a sense of entitlement. Like, I'm tipping you, you should be doing this and that. I've been on the end of working, never restaurant, thank God, but just retail, where I didn't have to get tipped, and I saw how terrible I got treated. So imagine just being in the restaurant industry, the any kind of service industry. Those people get treated terribly just because they feel like, just because someone feels like they're entitled because they're tipping you. They feel like they can treat you a certain way.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like I've seen those myself when they, if you come in, and you don't tip, or if you're known for not tipping, you're gonna get treated bad. You know what I mean? So it's definitely a weird. I wouldn't say weird because like I'm part of the culture, but it's definitely interesting. Like when you go overseas, you want to tip, right? Because you're so used to it, but it's not. It's frowned down upon over there. Like they don't want you. They don't want you to do that shit. You know what I mean? So it's I don't know. I prefer that style of going out to eat. So maybe I need to move overseas. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely. And in some places, the tax is already included in there and your meal price.
How do you feel about that? About the tipping already in the price of the meal?
No. I meant the tax is included in the meal price. You know, when you go somewhere out to eat and it looks like your meal is about to be $40, and then you're just getting ready to pay $40, and it's like, nope, there's a 6% tax because we live in Florida, so you got to add that shit to that. You got to put out a calculator, do the damn math, and then do 10% of that, or 20%. It should be more than 18, whatever. You got to do all that fucking math. But I feel like taxes should be included in your meal prices. And everything you buy, I feel like taxes should already be factored in there. I shouldn't have to do the fucking tax myself. But two, I hate when they put the tip in there already. Like, how are you just going to make the decision for me that I'm going to tip,
Yeah, I've seen that before. Like, I really hate when you look at it, you're like, oh, damn, they already put whatever it is, 15%, 20% is already in the bill. So you can't make, you're not making the decision for yourself. It's already made for you. And so if you had bad service, I mean, what are you going to do about it, right? So it's interesting. So if I go out to eat, I try to not tip. No, real shit. I really
because these servers are getting scammed by the system anyway. So I feel like, damn, y'all getting scammed by somebody. I might as well tip y'all. But I do it, but I feel like the companies should do it.
Yeah, I mean, I really look at the receipt and think hard if I want to tip or not. But
right.
I always end up doing it because, like I said, it's the culture, right? You do it, but it is what it is. All right, I think we've hit this on the head pretty hard. So
yeah, so let's move on to our next topic called "Fuck You Mean." This basically is our next segment. Basically talks about this weird shit going on in America. America is such a random place to live in, and there's all this random shit going on. And sometimes some of it can be confusing, so that's why we came up with this segment called "Fuck You Mean, bruh." First, on "Fuck You Mean," is this whole Potcoin debacle. If you guys aren't familiar with Potcoin, basically it's this online virtual kind of currency where people can use it people in the marijuana industry can use it to deal with each other. No, this is not the black market, and no, this wasn't around where you were slinging dope back in the 80s or 90s. Would have been useful, but now this shit is coming up with the whole marijuana boom, legal medical marijuana coming on. So with this Potcoin shit, they basically allow investors to move their money around, allow people to trade money, currency, whatever. So then these people had to get Dennis Rodman, of all people, to be their spokesperson. One, and not only is Dennis Rodman their spokesperson, they sent Dennis Rodman all the way to fucking North Korea. When I read that, I was like, fuck you mean, bruh. Dennis Rodman, North Korea, medical marijuana. What the fuck is going on in America today?
It's crazy.
Basically, so, and not only that, it just never ends with this fucking Potcoin debacle. Dennis Rodman goes to North Korea and he brings a copy of Trump's book to Kim Jong-un. Trump, who always talks shit about North Korea, his book to Kim Jong Un, just let that sink in. Just let that marinate. That makes no sense. And after that whole debacle, Potcoin saw a loss in their investments. Their stocks went down. A lot of people were pulling their money out. And I agree. That's the only part of the story that makes sense. Basically, Potcoin, chill the fuck out. Stop trying to start World War III. Just deal your medical marijuana currency out and just go. Just stick to that. Don't try to just be in everybody's business. Just do you. Don't fuck up the world. That's all we ask. Just smoke some weed and relax. That's it, Potcoin.
Shit, I ain't trying to die, so I don't want that shit to start World War III. You know what I mean?
Word.
So,
over some pot, bro.
Over some pot.
All you had to do is basically sell some fucking pot currency, and now you out in fucking North Korea, of all places. That makes no sense to me.
Shit. Fuck you mean. All right. My fuck you mean is, the mass shootings in America today. Believe it or not, there has been 146 mass shootings this year alone. And that's appalling, man. That's crazy. And it's like, how is this still a thing? Like, every year, this is like crazy numbers coming out. And you have two sides. You have one that says, oh, we need more guns to protect ourselves, to defend our rights, to be safe. And then you got the other side saying, oh, we need less guns, we need more laws, da-da-da. Well, obviously, I mean, to me, it's just common sense and logic. More guns does not make us any safer. More guns does not make us any safer. You know what I mean? So, and you
not
can
at all. We've tried it for the past couple of years, and to what avail? To what good has come out of it?
And you can look at other countries like Japan, fucking Ireland, fucking Poland. I can go on and on, where there's like strict gun laws, and the mass shootings is like almost like 0 to none. You know what I mean? So, and I get in America, it's a big thing about Second Amendment. We need our guns. We need our guns for when, aliens come to kill us. I don't know, for whatever reason, we need our guns, right? So I just think it's sad that the people who are paying for the price of this debate, whether it be a school shooting or shooting at a workplace or a movie theater or you name it, those folks are dying. And for what? For what? Just to have more guns, to arm ourselves, it's like we're losing human lives over a debate that is not going anywhere. There's no progress going at all on both sides, So I just think it's sad, man. So I'm like, fuck you means going on. I'm staying my ass home because, nigga, I don't got a gun. And Jeez. So I ain't trying to die. You know what I'm saying? Had it been me, nigga, I'm just staying home. That's what it is. But it's really sad. It's not funny. It's really sad. And I just wish that, I don't know how, but hopefully, man, like we can figure this out in the future. Like, because it's not more guns, but hopefully we can logically think, hey guys, let's get all these guns out the streets so we are able to like live and not have all these people die every year. So that's my rant for today. So yeah.
A perfect example of this is when there was a mass shooting in Australia and they got together and banded guns, and I don't think there's been a mass shooting there since then. I could be wrong, but I think it's been like 10 or 15 years since the last mass shooting in Australia. What I would like to do, though, is every time there's a mass shooting, I would like to have somewhere where we can post or where we can see the senators or the people in the House that voted against gun legislation. If you voted against gun legislation and there's a mass shooting, I want to see your face on the TV so I can see who's responsible for this. Might be kind of radical, but I really would like to know. Just a thought.
And, and then I wonder, like, how many of these are being shown on the media, like on news? Because it's 146, and I haven't seen 146 stories on CNN. So I have to look it up.
Right now we're so desensitized. Even if we've seen all of them, it's just another mass shooting to us. We're so desensitized. It happens so much.
Yeah. So, yeah. Hopefully, that people are listening and they're pretty much are able to sympathize with the people who are paying the price, because ultimately that's what's happening. So,
this is a section where we talk about what our quotes are. Sometimes they're ignorant, sometimes they're intellectual. My quote is "fuck out of here." That's my quote. It's really sometimes you don't have the time to reply to somebody. Sometimes someone just sucks out all the positive energy out of you, and they just have like all these complaints, or they just have something they're saying, and it's like it never ends. Like the negativity never ends, and you can just either take the time to craft out a well thought out response, or you can just tell them "fuck out of here," and that just solves all your problems.
If I had a quote, it would have to be to control thy spending. You know what I mean? Because in this world, man, in this society, like we're consumers, man. We consume a lot of stuff for no reason. You consume just because something's on sale. You watch a commercial and you know, oh, it's cheaper. You get buy one get one free. You go out and spend it. So I think we need to be able to control our spending, you know? Like if you don't need something, you don't need to go buy it just because it's on sale, you have a coupon for it. So I think that's my quote.
I agree. Sometimes you'll see something at Walmart or somewhere or Macy's, and it's like you're saving $40 by buying this, and you're not saving $40 by buying that because you're really saving $40 by not spending at all. Like I don't get the mindset where you just saved $5 on this purchase. Like I could have saved 100 if I didn't buy this shit.
Yeah.
So I agree. Definitely, United States of spending.
United States of spending.
Yeah,
I like that. That's facts. You know, like I've had to control. You know, like would I go out and spend shit just to do it because it's you think you spending less on it, but you're really not because it's probably made for way cheaper than you think it is. So
be like a millionaire.
Exactly. Well, don't write dirty though. So.
Nah.
All right. So as always, this is our third episode. We're still getting better. We're still, working at it. So if you have any feedback, have any reviews, hit us up. Let us know. At Ignorant Banter at all the social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Hit us up. Let us know what's going on.
And as you know, it's your boy Lucky Luciano, aka Slickback Jones, the Don, a.k.a. Black Caesar, a.k.a. Caesar Alamo. You already know what it is. Booyaka, booyaka.
And it's your boy Crazy P.I. here, a.k.a. Haitian Mise and Rice, a.k.a. Malta Boy, a.k.a. Zoe Boy, Carnation Milk. You know what it is, a.k.a. Griot. Out here all day. We live. Let's get it. You.
All right, we out.